Dear Thai, dear beautiful community. Today is the 29th September of the year 2022, and we are in the Lower Hamlet during our 90-day retreat. Just taking some time to breathe, closing my eyes. Suddenly an image came up. I think many of you heard about some great teachers that were able to teach the whole assembly just by being silent. So an idea came up. Maybe I don't need to talk. But I think I don't have this power yet, so I'm here today to share some of my joy, the joy of being on that path, and eventually you can also let your heart and mind be open to receive the joy that we are going to generate together. Whether we are here for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 1 year, whole life, there must be a reason why we are here. I often invite my younger sisters or friends to always look back into why are we here? Each one of us has different reasons, and these reasons also evolve with time because we change. So if you look back into your path and you are still the same, maybe you can ask around some friends, family members, do you see any change in me? So it's always good to look back and see our evolution. And sometimes it's for the good, and sometimes it's, and it's okay. It's part of life. So we have maybe like a goal, being free, being happy, being healing our wounds, helping society. And sometimes we have a feeling that we are moving towards our aspiration, and we feel great. And then suddenly something happened, and our castle of cards, house, in French is château de cartes. House of cards just collapsed. And it's okay. It's part of the practice. So the question we can ask ourselves is, what is our foundation? What is our motivation? So we see how the talks goes, but probably today I will share with you some of the ingredients we need on the spiritual path. And because if I am here right now is for many, thanks to many conditions, but one of the main conditions is thanks to Thai and his teaching and his love and acceptance. So Thai will follow us with some of his art, some of his calligraphy. And I hope I'm not going to mess up too much with the computer. So we all have many needs. Physical needs, physiological needs, emotional needs, material needs. And eventually, if we are here, that's also because we have a spiritual need. So, all of these needs, do they all need to be satisfied? That's a question. Some of them are essential for our living. We need food, we need water, we need a shelter, we need a little bit of clothes. In some tribes, they don't need, so that's just a social convention. So, what is our spiritual need based on? What are we looking for? I will go straight to the point, and it's often part of my talks because, yeah, this is how it is. We all need love. And we all need to be loved. Feel loved. Share love. That's the heart of the spiritual path. So how do we get there? How can we arrive at a state of boundless love, a love that is not restrained to some conditions, just some people, you but not you? How do we respond to anger, violence towards us? Are we still able to keep our love? Or does this anger, violence, hatred affect us too much and then we respond, we react, and it's already too late? We realize, maybe my heart is not as big as I would like. We have a practice that has been handed through many generations from the Buddha's time for the monastics that we recite every precept recitation. I didn't write it and I don't know it really by heart, but it's something like we are asked to practice not to be angry when someone is angry at us, not to hurt someone when someone is hurting us physically. So if someone is beating us, our practice is not to respond. The other aspect is when someone belittles you, you don't respond. You don't belittle that person. And there is a fourth one, I don't remember right now. It's probably kind of hard to, when someone bite you? Beats you or punches. Yeah, not bite. Beats you. Yeah, like, I don't know if you can imagine being in that situation and you are asked not to respond. That requires quite a lot of strength and determination. So determination is one ingredient of the path. We have a motivation, something that moves us towards the path or an action. And we can already also look into our motivation. Some of our motivations are conscious and like we take the time to look into it but some of them are unconscious. Fear, the fear of our own death, and then we need to protect ourselves, also is a kind of motivation that push us to act or say something that we may regret after. Worry, maybe if we have a mind that discriminate a lot or judge a lot, then also that moves us into a certain kind of actions of body and speech. So the conscious motivation, moving towards love, inclusiveness, forgiveness, tolerance, peace, acceptance, all of these beautiful qualities that we all have already inside of us. Everything is already there. And that source of motivation can be activated a little bit every day. And with the motivation, we need to have determination, because there will always be something happening in our daily life that will push us in the other directions. So on the spiritual path, we need to have a strong will. If you commit for the 90 days, there will be some days that is not going to be easy. If you stay here for 1 year, there will be days that will not be easy. And if you just give up, I mean, that's also a possibility. It's not going to be the end of the world. With the determination, it helps us to break through our illusion of the idea we have about ourselves. I need this, I need that. I'm like this, I'm like that. I will never make it. It will never happen to me. And if we do have a strong determination that really speaks to our heart, mind, and body, because we practice also with our body. And we need to take care of our body as well. And respect our body. And that's what exactly the Buddha did. Just before he get enlightened, he was into a process of asceticism, going very extreme, not eating, and he realized it was not the right path. There was no compassion and respect for this wonder, this masterpiece of life, which is this body. So mindfulness, I'm going to talk a little bit about mindfulness, is here already in us, and when it's alive in us, we are able to feel, understand, and be. I want to say be whole. Body, mind, heart, soul, whatever you want to call it. All the aspects of our being. We become more and more aware of all these aspects. And we can tune ourselves depending on the situation, on the people around us, on our maybe need today. Maybe today I didn't sleep, and so I know I will be tired. So I need to tune myself in such a way that I can go through the day with a smile. It's okay, but I will not be the same as if I had a wonderful sleep, for example, or if I have a stomachache. So our physical pain has an effect on our mind, usually, often. And thanks to the practice of mindfulness and concentration, to be able to stay focused with our breath, with our steps, to stay focused in the here and the now, with an energy that is gentle, caring. It allows us not to drift away by our ego, our part of the mind that is saying, oh, I'm tired, why am I here, blah, blah, blah. All this non-stop radio thinking that is, for many of us, always on in our mind. With the practice of mindfulness that we try to generate every day, every moment in our tradition, everything is an opportunity to fully be present for what we are doing, for what we are right now. Even if it's not pleasant, uncomfortable, and maybe our tendency is to want to run away from suffering, unpleasant feelings. And that's the beauty also of the collective energy of the Sangha, that we can take refuge in. We borrow the mindfulness of our fellow practitioners that are here, and we all do that. We all have done that, and we will do it whenever we need, because we are not a separate self-entity. So whether or not you you get this idea, this reality of we are not separate from each other, it happens anyway. Right now in this hall, when I look in front of me, I mean, if we could see all the, vibrations and frequency and the waves that moves from people to people, it will be amazing. But we don't see it and we forget about it. Perhaps we can have a sound of the bell that will also offer its waves into the hall. So one thing that is also important to be aware of is that there is the spoken dharma or the written dharma, but what is most important is the living dharma, your dharma body, your practice that is alive in you. Whether you start yesterday or 10 years ago, doesn't matter. So we listen teachings, we read teachings about spiritual matters. And we need to remember them in our daily life. Otherwise it's just blah blah. And we need to act upon them. So we need to put the practice concretely into our lives. Otherwise, it's like you want apples, but you don't plant the tree. Apples will never show up. So you need to plant the tree, to take care of the tree, and to wait all the conditions, the sun, the rain, etc. And in order to have the fruit. And you cannot ask the tree to give you the fruit when it's not ripe. So we have another ingredient that is coming up, and it's called patience. There is a calligraphy of Thai, which I don't have, which is patience is one of the mark of true love or something like that. And there is 3 kinds of patience. There is the tolerant patience, the insightful patience and the forgiving patience. And it's this these three aspects of patience come from the Indian teacher Shantideva from the 8th century. And you can, if you're interested, read his wonderful sharing the great way of the Bodhisattva path, or something like that. Le chemin vers l'éveil. So tolerance in Thai's teaching would be related to the second arrow. So we hurt ourselves physically, or somebody says something and we feel like pain in our hearts. So are we able to just accept and not being angry or frustrated? Like if we, I don't know, hit ourselves and break our foot, what will be our reaction, knowing that the following day we were planning to go on in the mountains hiking or something? What would be our reaction? Stupid, like why? And like for a few days, it's like, you cannot let go of your frustration and like a self hate. And what about the same situation is like, okay, well, that's the way it is. I cannot change. So what's the point of beating myself up? Yes. It's good. I have Nick. He's like, yes, okay, to help me with my English. What's the point of having a second arrow, a third arrow? Just, this is the way it is. I cannot change it. So there are many things in our life that we cannot change. So having the wisdom to make the distinction between things that we can change and things we cannot change. Today, it's raining, and we cannot change it. Yeah. But if it's like, today's raining, no, I don't want rain, la 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 la. Yeah. So tolerance, patience, insightful patience is the idea of we probably have something to learn from the mud, so we can grow the lotus. The mud is here. And with the practice, with the spiritual dimension that we bring into our life, into our mind, hearts, body, there must be a way that it can become an opportunity for me to grow and also to have maybe more humility when we suffer, when, we are not like, da, da, da. So there are some positive aspects of suffering, of pain, that we are only able to see when we have a spiritual dimension in our life. And the forgiving patience, It's what maybe in our tradition we would call inclusiveness. It's when our heart has become large and big enough so it can embrace even your so-called enemy. And another aspect, ingredient of our path is that goes along with inclusiveness is another word for it is endurance. So it goes a little bit with determination. We don't give up just with the first obstacles. If our body, mind, and heart can go through this challenge, this difficulty, because we have to be aware of what is happening. And if it's too much, then it's like, okay, break, stop. Maybe this is too much for me. Relax. So patience. Don't go too fast, too far. Don't push yourself too hard. The practice is about loving kindness and non-violence. And not everyone is at the same point. Sometimes we meet and so that's the power of mindfulness and concentration. It helps us to really see clearly where we are and what is our limit, what is our capacity, knowing that we always change. And that's nowadays, for maybe many years now, but the epigenetic. There's no fatalism, no fate. There's no fate, fatalism. Yes, we have DNA. Yes, we have ancestors. Yes, we have all of this. But recent research have shown that our consciousness is the one who the conductor. Our consciousness is the conductor. Is not the past, is not our ancestor, is not. So when we have change the way we perceive ourselves, the way we perceive the world, when we can touch the true essence of reality, thanks to mindfulness, concentration, and insight, we change deeply in our body and mind. But we don't see it. I'm sharing this because just before I was mentioning about being aware of our limits and our capacity. These limits and capacity change. They evolved and eventually they broaden. Next time I do it in French. So it also being aware of our limits capacity, but also being aware that we have a great potential inside of us. Because we are part of the cosmos. The whole cosmos is in us. So limitless possibilities are here for us to develop with another ingredient, creativity, inspiration. And we're going to have a sound of the bell for the translator to relax a little bit. In our practice, in our tradition, even though the schedule looks kind of the same, wake up at 5, sitting at 6, da da da. So it looked like a routine. But I know that in all of us there is a warrior, an artist, and a meditator. So maybe we can all look like, okay, where am I right now? Because maybe now I'm like, I don't know, an artist. But maybe in 1 year, in 1 month, in 1 week, I will feel more like, okay, inside. More like a meditator. And then I get in touch with my friends, earth holders, and I'm like, warrior. So it's good also to play with these 3 aspects of the path. And we offer you, Thai has offered us many ways of generating mindfulness, generating our capacity to be present in the here, in the now, at every moment of our daily life. And the environment of Plum Village, monastery, is not the same environment as your home, your workplace, your family, your friends. And this is where you have to use your creativity to be able to bring the practice without even maybe showing that you are practicing. And whether it is here in the monastery or outside, the ingredient of being inspired is also very, very important. It's like the fuel that keep us walking on that path. With inspiration, we have joy, we have enthusiasm. We wake up in the morning and we smile. Who smiles in the morning when they wake up? Okay. Few hands. Not too bad. So where can you find the source of your inspiration? It's like, yay! I want to do this. And without expectation. So being inspired with no expectation, so that your joy doesn't rely on whether it works or not. Because just by doing it, meaning coming back to yourself, having a little moment in a park, to walk, to just enjoy being alive, that's already it. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way, right now, right here. But if you have like inspiration, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you arrive at the park, for example, where you wanted to do some qigong and have a lovely walk, slow walking meditation, just to enjoy, come back like you did in Plum village and da-da-dee. And then suddenly you arrive and there are some big machine who are doing some work and a lot of noise, and then you get disappointed. So is to find the right balance between the motivation, the inspiration to bring the practice into our life, which is related to a little bit of a goal, like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go. But knowing that there will be many things that will happen and that you cannot control, that maybe will be obstacles for your realization. And we go back to the patience, to the ingredient of patience. Saying, okay, well, no, today is not going to happen the way I thought it will happen. So what do I do with this situation? How do I deal with it? Letting go. Okay, I have prepared like a few calligraphy, but I have a feeling I'm not going to use them. So there was a beautiful calligraphy of Thai, let go. Which has, of course, many layers of letting go, from the superficial and the easy one. And then you go deep, and it's not that easy to let go. But there are many things that we can let go. But perhaps we are not even aware that, just by letting go of this idea of me going to the park and enjoy slow walking meditation. Okay, well, I just let go of this idea. And then what happened? Freedom, space. So if I just cling on my idea, my expectation, my joy of inspiration, creativity, and then suddenly it doesn't happen. So this is an opportunity to let go and to tap into other possibilities that we have, other capacity. We are not limited by our ideas. So our mind and The way we function is we plan and we have ideas and we're going to do this next week and this afternoon we're going to have workshops and affinity lunch and look how many ideas you carry in that agenda. Just being aware of this is like, wow, how many ideas I have with this session, with this work, with this friend, with this. And just by looking into all of this that is that I carry within this, already by being aware, it will help me to let go easily. The willingness to change is also very important, and that's why we are all here, I guess. So what do you need to change? Some of the things that we need to change are very obvious. I have a lot of anger, jealousy, all of these big things that it's kind of clear for us. But again, there are many layers. And the thing that is creating the most suffering for us and for the planet, and that doesn't allow the flow of energy, of vitality to happen in our body, consciousness, mind, to be in touch with life, to really be alive, fully alive, to just be, is our thinking and our ego. In our tradition, we call it manas. As soon as we can let go of our thinking, we just are a living being. And we can connect to all aspects of life. And we can connect to the suffering of all other beings, living beings. Be alive, be a miracle. That's one calligraphy of Thai. Because our tendency is always to be in our thoughts, in our mind, always planning, always being in a past, in a future. And so the miracle is just to be alive, right here, right now. To be fully present in the here and in the now. The here and the now contain the past, the present, and the future. So when we are able to be peace, to be love, in the here and in the now, with a concentration. We feel, we know that this energy is also vibrating or penetrating or the past, the present and the future. The present moment contains the past, the future and the present now. So when we generate with our steps healing of our own wounds, healing of our ancestors' wounds, the society from the past or from the present moment now, all the suffering, it has an impact. So of course it's not it's not visible, it's not tangible, but that's the spiritual dimension. And when we experience being part of the live stream, the continuous live stream that has started billions of years ago and that will continue, there is no more self, there is no more me, I. We are just a vehicle. We are just a channel. So which kind of channel do we want to be? A channel of love, peace, reconciliation, forgiveness. And to be that channel, we need to first listen to ourselves. To generate compassion for ourselves. To listen to our inner child. And then we move on and we listen to our parents' inner child in us. And then we move on and we go to the next generation. I would like to, for us to listen the sound of the bell. And with the sound of the bell, we can just continue to be in touch with the ultimate dimension that is part of the historical dimension right now in this meditation hall in Lower Hamlet, Plum Village. And we are the channel for love, peace, forgiveness, inclusiveness. And we can embrace all our ancestors. We can embrace all the politicians that are using another kind of channel. We embrace them all, and we embrace our civilization. This is because that is. We have been lost in greed, ignorance, hatred, discrimination. And now is a time for us to tap into other kinds of energy, so that our actions of body, speech and mind can carry love for all and caring for all beings. To be able to let go of our ideas, of our ideals, of our mind, thinking mind, and just surrender to the present moment. Also requires trust in our capacity as human being to do good, to be good, to think good. A concrete way of applying the practice is through the mindfulness trainings, the 5 mindfulness trainings and the 14 mindfulness trainings that you can bring home. And Thai in the last years always remind us that mindfulness is not a tool. It's a way of being, it's a path. So of course at the very beginning maybe mindfulness is something strange from outside that we need to get familiar with, and then whenever we feel the benefits, like we feel more relaxed, there's more space inside our hearts and mind, and then we just continue, and then it becomes a way of being. And it's the same with love. Mindfulness, understanding. When there is true understanding, there is love. When you have a chance to get in touch with your own suffering and be compassionate towards yourself, to take care of your suffering, you generate love. And this source of love will flow into other people's heart. And when there is love in your heart and mind, life is so easy. It's like a honeymoon lifestyle. But as soon as the thinking mind is coming back, the criticism, but why do you do like this? You shouldn't do like that. Blah, 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 blah. Even, it's okay. It's not like a violent thoughts but just having this constant thinking. It's first tiring, and second, it doesn't allow you to touch the source of life, which is love. And this is, I think, something that people who have close experienced death, that's how we say, they all say. They all wow, see the light and feel so good, so uplifting, like all the elements of love that probably we all have experienced, I hope, with someone. And then the spiritual love is with everyone, all beings. So there's no objects for your love. You don't need to have any object for your love. So mindfulness helps us to look and see ourselves and see the reality as it is, and not being illusioned by the appearance of things. And it also helps us to look into ourselves and see our patterns, our reactions in terms of body, speech, and mind. And it's only when we see, okay, every time this happens, I'm like this, and it creates suffering. It's when you see that pattern, then it's only at that moment that you can eventually choose to change. But if you don't see it, then it happens. So awareness is also here to help us having the inspiration, the motivation, the determination to change ourselves. So this is the second of the four noble truths. The first noble truth is suffering is part of life. And the second is, what are the causes of suffering? what is the thing that always bring me to that spot, and I'm always reacting like this, and then I always end up crying or being angry with myself or regretting what I've just said or done. And then you use the power of, I don't know what, of the warrior. Yes, here it is. Your inner warrior is here to help you cut through your afflictions with determination and gentleness, compassion, loving kindness. So even though there is the image of the bodhisattva, of true understanding, Manjushri, with a sword that is cutting through the roots of affliction. So it looks like a violent image. But we need that strength and power. We need courage. Courage, another ingredient of the path. Courage. We need courage to, face. Look into your mirror and say, okay, this is my true me. And am I okay with it? Not really, but this is how I am right now with all my unskillfulness and all the things that I need to take care of, so it doesn't create suffering for myself and suffering for others. So remember, the practice is always about taking care of suffering and generating joy, love, peace. So I didn't talk about, not too much, about impermanence and aimlessness and like these big words. But even if you like to listen Dharma talks or read about the practice, the teachings, and you get in touch with this wonderful Dharma realm, always ask yourself, what does it has to do with my life? How can I apply this teaching into my life? So it's not about a theory, but it's really concrete. So I'm just going to summarize. Motivation, and determination. Courage, inspiration, patience, and the best one for the end, creativity. So you can look into your own life and see how you can be in touch with these 6 ingredients. And always ask yourself, is my motivation, is it going to move me in the direction of freedom, of more space, because sometimes we have maybe a motivation, and we think, it's good, but then we kind of ending into a place that is not okay. It's like sometimes we have the intention to help someone, but then if we don't truly understand that person, we may say things or do things that are harmful. So even with the good intention, sometimes the result is not always there, which is okay because we learn from it. So humility, being humble and say, okay, I thought I had a good intention, and it was a good intention, but then maybe I don't understand you enough. It's like Thai often take the example of the durian, the fruit that some of his disciples wanted to make a gift for Thai or something like that to express their gratitude, and they offer durian for Thai, but Thai really doesn't like durian. So with the intention of expressing gratitude and love, there was not the right thing to offer for Thai. Yes. And creativity is limitless. So perhaps I know in that hall, in this hall, there are few of you, who may like to walk the monastic path. You will have to be very creative in order to get the joy from it, because it has to come from within. Of course, there is the collective, the community, so it's not just from within. We are part of a collective consciousness and environment. But it's with the mindfulness practice, it's also a way for us to, it's like there is a dynamic inside, inner dynamic. And it's always to find the right balance, the right equilibrium. Okay, not too much of this, not too less, la la la. I need my time. I need to be with the Sangha, but I need to be with the schedule. Otherwise the sisters will da da da. So it's very interesting. I realize that this is something I cannot share about because I'm fortunate that my thinking mind is not really on. So I was thinking, okay, if people ask me, but how do I do to stop thinking? I don't know, because I don't have this problem. So perhaps maybe this afternoon, one of the theme, it cannot be just that, is for some of you who already have some experience of having a mind that is blah 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 always, and with the practice of breathing, walking, total relaxation, coming back to your body. I mean, for me, it's just going to be theory because. But if you have experienced that, or you have other ways to quiet the mind, maybe that could be one topic for this afternoon for the sharing. And yes, to surrender to the present moment. That goes a little bit with the thinking mind, or just to be alive? Is it something that you are able to do whenever you want, for example? So these are just suggestions. You don't have to follow. So we will end with 3 sounds of the bell, and we can continue to be a channel of love, non-discrimination, forgiveness, peace, silence, and we can offer this to the world, to our ancestors, all living beings, and to the future.